In this video, we're going to talk about tattoo aftercare. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Liam. I'm a tattoo artist based out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I specialize mainly in large-scale black and gray realism tattoos. In this video, I'm going to tell you all my tips for tattoo aftercare, basically after your tattoo's done, up to the next couple of weeks while your tattoo's taking on most of the healing. This video is going to help you understand better what your body's doing and what to do about it. It's also going to help you prevent maybe getting an infection and that sort of thing, so stay tuned, and I hope you get a lot out of this video. All I ask in return is that you like this video. It really helps reach more people so that more people can be a little bit more informed about this kind of stuff. So as a disclosure, this is just my methods and what I tell my clients to do. Your tattoo artist might actually give you different advice, so whatever you think is best, that's what I would go with. Right after your tattoo session, your tattoo artist is either going to wrap you up with something called Sanoderm, which is kind of like a clear tape over top of your tattoo that you usually keep on for a couple days, at least 24 hours. I don't do this method. All I do is just put some Vaseline on it and then cover it with a normal bandage, and then you're supposed to take it off after a couple of hours. Depending on what time the session's done at, you can also sleep with it on, especially if you have pets, and even more so if they sleep in your bed with you. This first stage is basically just when you take off the bandage. This will be either the next morning or 3 or 4 hours after your tattoo session. I usually recommend actually just taking the bandage off and then just hopping in the shower. Next thing to do is just to wash your hands, and then basically you can have your tattoo running under the water, and just with your hand just kind of cleaning off any of the excess Vaseline or gunk that's on there. There might be a kind of a weird ink stain or like a brown color to it. That's fine, just wipe it off. I recommend the water be pretty warm at this point. I find that it opens your pores up and it kind of gets any of that excess ink that might have been left after the tattoo out a little bit easier. Next thing to do is just to hop out of the shower. Depending on where the tattoo is, say it's on your arm, you hop out of the shower and then turn the water cold, and then just leave your tattoo under that for a couple of seconds, maybe like 10 seconds. This will close back the pores back up and then just help it heal a little bit faster. I found in other areas, especially ones that kind of seep a little bit longer, this actually helps speed it up quite a bit. Next thing to do is just to pat it dry and leave it alone for the next day. So phase 2 is going to be the following day or the next couple of days. This is a pretty easy phase. You're going to notice that it's going to hurt quite a bit, like it's going to feel kind of like a sunburn. All you're going to do is make sure your hands are clean, and then take a soft soap, anything that's non-scented, and just kind of clean your tattoo with soap and water. You can do that 1 or even 2 times a day depending on how your day's going. Less is more in my opinion. Usually you don't need to do too much to it for the first couple of days. If it starts to seem a little bit tight or dry, you can start putting a tiny little bit of lotion on at this point. I say a tiny bit because it's really easy to over moisturize the skin. I find that it might even scab a little bit easier if you do lotion it up too much. Phase 3 is kind of like the more of the gross one. You'll find, I think this will kind of happen around 3 to 4, maybe 5 days into your healing process, is when the tattoo is really starting to peel. It looks a little gross, but it's just part of the process. The number 1 rule in this phase is to not pick or peel any of that dead skin off. This might result in like some of the ink falling out and then having inevitable touch-ups afterwards, which obviously we're trying to avoid. And then from there, you can just kind of lotion it as you want. Like I said before, less is more, so the least amount of lotion you can get away with using, the better. The tattoo is going to be pretty itchy at this point, but please don't scratch it or itch it or anything like that with your nails. The best relief that I found is to kind of just slap it, kind of minorly. You'll kind of find some relief doing it that way. And then at this point, it's just kind of being patient. I know it's kind of tempting with it being all peely like a sunburn, but the tattoo is going to peel by itself and heal on its own pretty well. You can keep up this 3rd stage basically up until the tattoo is fully healed. So some general rules just throughout the whole healing process is to stay out of the sun as much as you can, especially for the first couple of weeks. Afterwards, you can start putting some sunscreen on once the skin on top is a little bit more healed. I have another video that I'll link that talks about why tattoos fade so fast, and I think you'll get a lot of value out of that. Another rule is just to not submerge it in any kind of water, whether that be like a tub, hot tubs, pools, especially lakes. You're gonna find your tattoo is gonna get really easily infected if you do any of those. Don't pick and don't force peel any of your healing tattoo. And then don't over moisturize is another one. Anytime you touch your tattoo, make sure your hands are really nice and clean. This is gonna avoid infection, as well as I find if your tattoo is a little bit more dirty, or if you don't use any soap during your healing process, it might even scab a little easier. I'm not sure about the kind of science behind that, but I've just found that to be the case. Tattoos generally should heal within a couple of weeks. I would say like 10 days or so with the style that I tattoo in. Might be a little bit longer, might be a little shorter. It just kind of depends. This is the first stage of your healing. I have, like I said, that video that I linked before about why tattoos fade kind of goes into the long-term healing process, but you can generally call your tattoo healed at this point. Well, there we go, guys. We made it. It's pretty easy. Like, as long as you follow these steps, I think that your healing process should be pretty easy, especially if you find yourself a good artist that's following good hygienic practices and isn't overworking your skin or anything like that. This whole process should be pretty easy. Well, thanks for watching, guys. As always, I really appreciate if you'd subscribe to my channel, like this video so it reaches more people, and then if you have any other techniques on your healing process, leave them in the comments so everyone else can read them. Make sure to keep up with my Instagram. That's the place that I'm on most, so you can keep up with my work a little bit better than on here. But yeah, until next time, guys, peace.